What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. I am Nadeska here with my co-host Academics and Wayno, and we have a very special guest joining us this morning, Master P. Welcome to Everyday Struggle. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I feel good. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, man, it's great to have you. It's a legendary moment.
Yeah, I always frequent his Instagram these days just to hear him just kick some game. He's usually teaching a lot these days. You know what I mean? That's where I go on his page and I'm like, I wish more people would actually soak up some game from him.
All right, well, I think today is that day, and we're going to start by talking about his brand new show. It's called No Limit Chronicles. So this airs on BET tomorrow. That's Wednesday, July 29th, 9 p.m. It's a 5-part docuseries, and it's going to take us into the rise of No Limit Records. Master P, you are, of course, one of the most iconic entrepreneurs in hip hop, and this show is going to highlight your entrepreneurship. Why did you feel like now was the right time to create this series?
Well, I just feel like this generation need to see exactly where we come from, where the hustle come from, where they're making good decisions and choices. People don't realize it's all about education. You know, we pray for wisdom. Most people pray for money. And the Bible say, when you understand what wisdom is, everything else comes. So I've been through a lot of struggles, been through a lot of pain. God spared my life for a reason. And I feel like if I could give that blueprint back to the next generation, I mean, that's what my job is. I mean, I feel like I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. You know, a lot of people complaining about what's going on. What about we just alive? You know, be thankful that we are alive. And growing up in the Callio projects, never had nothing but not making excuses. Most people make excuses, but when you see this documentary, you're gonna see even as a little kid, I had a plan. I used to write stuff down. I had vision. I just didn't live for, I'm gonna die in the ghetto. I'm not gonna make it out of here. I always thought big, and I tell people the power of the words is so important. When you look in the Bible, God saved Moses. Moses was a murderer, and he turned his life around. So I feel like we all could do it. Stop focusing on where we at and think about where you could be. Nothing be to failure but to try. I tell people all the time, you can't hit a home run unless you at least swing at the ball. And I've just been committed. I've been committed to changing my life. So I want anybody watching this, don't be afraid to change. You know, we all grow up in negativity, most of us, not everybody, but the ones that grow up in the projects. And I just want people to realize why get in the music business and take the streets to it. I was on the streets. I changed my life because I wanted to be legit and live a good life and live a longer life, what I've done now. A lot of people don't get a chance to live and tell their stories. So if you look at a lot of people in this generation, they come into the music business and then try to take it to the streets. I feel like that's backwards. That's why we're losing so many kids. I think this documentary is coming at a good time because hip hop is dying young now.
A question I had, why, like, I can imagine at some point a biopic will come as well. You know, everyone loved that big theatrical release and see the entertaining, you know, all the highlights of what happened. Why actually come with the docuseries before that? Because, you know, straight out of Compton, a lot of people fell in love with that. It kind of, now people actually want like a docuseries for that time and there's everything they did. But why did you choose to do it before doing like a biopic or something like that?
I think it's best that way this generation could get to see the truth. I got the good, the bad, the ugliness. It's not like a perfect documentary. I want to let people see the real people, everybody that has been through. Because, you know, with my life, hasn't been a perfect life. But when you do a docuseries, you could see the other people characters. Everybody that's a part of this, from Snoop to Mystical to Silk to Mill to Fiend to Mr. Servone, C Murder, Mac, Soldier Slim. You could get to see everything that we went through. And I want people to know that, know the story. So when we bounce back from COVID-19, you can go into the movie theaters, you'll get to see the Ice Cream Man, King of the South movie. So I think I want people to see the truth. I want people to learn from everything, all the mistakes I made, then the good stuff that I've done, say, man, I want to do that. So people should have a choice, but they need to see both. I feel like if we teach these kids the right way and let them see, because we try to sugarcoat stuff. I figure if you just see the movie, you're just gonna sugarcoat everything that we've been through. But I think people could take something from our life and be inspired by it and also learn from it. So I want this to be a love story. I don't want this to be, you know, well, Master P did this and he was hustling. No, I didn't want to hustle. See, there's a difference. When you love to hustle, when you love to be on the streets, that's where you're going to die at. I was only out there because I had no other choice. Those was the cards I was dealt. And when I got an opportunity, you're going to see I'm not hiding this. When I got a chance to make it out, I made it out. I'm like, man, I want to change my life. It's like a stripper. If a stripper love being in the strip club, I don't care if you could take her to the mansion, you could give all kind of money, she gonna end up right back in that club because that's the mindset she has. Same thing with a street guy. You would give a street guy millions of dollars, put him in a nice environment, but if his mindset don't change, he gonna end up back in that hood. And so that's what I want people to see, that look, if you decide to change and do the right way, God is gonna bless you. You're gonna be around longer. I mean, look at my life. A lot of people say I'm not supposed to be here, but when you do right and you pack fair with people, and that's what I want to show in this documentary. The people that I pack fair with, I tell people all the time, everybody can't be a boss. Some people are workers. So I don't count my boss money. I never did. They had people that was bigger than me, and I don't look out at my neighbor's money or what they have, what type of cars they drive. I'm thankful for what I have. And I think that's the way we have to be. And that's the only reason I keep getting blessed. And I don't mind celebrating the people that came before me, like the Jay Prince from Rap A Lot, the Tony Draper from Suave House, the Uncle Luke. You know, without those guys, it wouldn't be no Master P and no Limit. So I've always given those people, you know, praises, and I celebrate them, you know, while they're here. I mean, if you look at Nipsey Hussle, he was one of a kind. This is a guy that celebrated me. I'm talking about when he was around, he knew the people that came before him and opened the doors. I just feel like we got to get back on that page instead of waiting to somebody gone to say how great they was. We do that because think about it, even with Nipsey, we celebrated him after his life was gone. And this guy had great music while he was alive, and he was doing things in the community that others wasn't doing. So that's my thing, is to celebrate these artists and celebrate the people that came before me, why they're here. That's what I want to change.
Pete, I had a question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Reno.
All right, no, I got a music question, but it's within the documentary, so it's gonna be 5 episodes. I want to know, like, for me, Ghetto Dope is one of the most unappreciated hip hop albums. Like, I feel like it's a classic and it's not celebrated enough. In this documentary, are we gonna be able to see like the creation of Ghetto Dope?
Yeah, you guys are gonna see like a lot of songs and stuff that I came up with, how I did it. It's only 5 series, so you ain't gonna see everything because we did so much and there's so many different artists. I really wanted to focus on everybody that made a difference. The ones that didn't make a difference, you know, you're gonna have some people come in and they'll say, oh, I was a part of your life and I didn't. Come on, man, let's be real. I even had people say they made me, and my message to those people that said they made me, okay, that's 20 years ago. After 20 years, if you was that great, how come you didn't make yourself? Like, it's crazy. Like, that's the attitude you have to have. Like, nowhere in the world I'm gonna make somebody else and don't make myself. So, but this took a lot of hard work. I almost lost my life several times. And I just thank the man up above that I was humble enough, and I'm still humble enough to just be thankful that I'm still here. I looked at a clip the other day with Mia X-Son, and you know, we used to box in the No Limit days in the office. Like, anytime we have a problem, we go get the gloves. We don't shoot each other and stuff like that. And I remember, you know, him talking about when Mia brought him up there. You know, I'm so proud of him because, you know, him and Romeo around the same age, and Romeo, what he's turned out to be, and then what Mia X-Son turned out to be. So that's how we build generational wealth. And I'm seeing these kids grow up. That let me know that I did something right, that I'm still here, that I could see this. And, you know, I hit him one time in the stomach, you know, because I wanted him to feel the pain. And hopefully he'll realize that he's not invincible. And that's what I want every kid in the world to know. We all have bodies. We're not invincible. Even though you got a big heart and you want to go up against the giants, you want to do all these different things, you still have to realize that you are not invincible. And I feel like a lack of knowledge, we perish. That's what it says in the Bible. For a lack of knowledge, we perish. And so if we give those kids this education, this knowledge right now, they're gonna survive. I'm a living testimony that if you do the right thing, you will survive and God will keep blessing you. I think this generation get caught up about how much money you have or where you at in life. Let me tell you how you measure success. You don't measure success by what you have, you measure success about what you can give. Every year for the last 25 years, I've been helping the kids and the elderly in California, New Orleans, Louisville, Tennessee, Memphis, and I'm just blessed. And that's how I measure the success around the people that are around me about what they're able to give, not what they have. Because I say this world, money is temporary. It come and go. So it's not about, you can't take it with you. I'm on a whole nother path in my life saying, if I can educate this next generation and know, yeah, I believe in God, but I also believe in an eye for an eye. That's the way I live. And when I get up in the morning, I get up with respect, and I give respect because I demand that respect back. But I live with integrity. So when you live with integrity, I think everything else will come into place. And I want every kid from the ghetto, even just in general, to realize that if you treat people right, it's gonna come back on you. And so I think that's what life is about. When I wake up in the morning, that's what I get up with, you know, and don't forget to plan and write down your goals and your dreams. That's the only way God gonna bless you, you know, with that, so.
Master P, I think it's important that you mention that. It's important that if you're going to try to build an empire, your own business, you first need to have a vision, the plan, and then take concrete steps. But I think an issue we see a lot of artists run into, that maybe even if they have that vision for their career, sometimes the people they grow up around may not be aligned, and that can derail them. Would you have any advice to artists for dealing with situations like that?
Let me tell artists out here, don't be afraid to put your life in your own hands. You have to control your destiny because you are the driving force behind your brand. And I think a lot of people, they find older people that don't have their best interests. So if you find an older person that don't have your best interest, you need to get rid of them because they're gonna steal your own. Also, family members and friends you might have to cut off that don't have the same vision that you have. One thing I want you to know, no matter how big you think you're gonna get, you got to have an exit strategy from the music business. A real career only lasts 3 to 5 years. But what are you gonna do after that? So that's why I tell people all the time, product outweighs talent. I mean, let me show you something. This is how we gonna look right now. I'm masking up, I got my mask, I got the matching shirt. I mean, you got to have product. If you don't have product, I don't care how great you think you are not gonna win. And so with me, I'm getting product. Like I want artists to know. I know y'all, the Uncle P Rice, the Uncle P taking it off the shelf, and don't be afraid to promote and market your product. That's what it's about. You know, when you get hot, you're only gonna be hot, I said, for 3 to 5 years. I mean, be honest, we've seen from Michael Jackson to Prince to whoever, to Tupac, you know, those guys' lives was lost at a short period of time, Tupac and Biggie Smalls, but I mean, I got product. I got noodles. I remember people laughed at me. They was like, oh, the rap snacks and not the rap noodles, but also get the right people around you. My partner, James Lindsay, he's an expert at packaged foods goods. So we started a PJ Foods company, you know, all these other big companies, how come they can do it and we can't do it? So that's where the money is. If you look at, we talked about Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Those products been around for 130 years. I don't know no artist gonna be around for that long. And these products gonna be around when we're not around. So I'm telling y'all, when you hot, get you some product. And if you want some pancakes, get you some Uncle P pancakes. I got the syrup.
I ain't gonna lie, you have to send me some testers for those, P. For real. Yo, P, I did have one more question about the Docuseries though, because you said it was about getting to the truth. But you know, we've seen with other Docuseries where, like, you know, once it comes out, like you'll have a few like dissenting voice saying, nah, that's not how it should have been portrayed. That's not how it went down. Like how do you make sure you actually get it as correct as you can? Is it just whatever you say? You know what I mean? Is it like your version of the events, or like you have a process of trying to make sure everybody's voices are?
You guys have social media now. It's a gift and a curse. You're never gonna be able to please everybody.
Yeah.
Great thing that we've done, we went and got people that was there during the moment in the movement, because No Limit was a movement. And we got it from those people's perspectives, whether you white, black, Asian, Latino, you worked inside the company, you worked inside Priority Records. We went to the real people and brought them all together and had them tell a story. So I think it's always gonna be something where somebody say, oh no, this happening. Like I said, you can't please everybody, but this is as closest to the truth you're gonna get, because we went and got the real people. Like these people are alive. And I think that's what people are gonna respect about this documentary, that it's not just me talking. So you're not gonna get this from just my perspective. I'm giving you the good and the bad. So the rise, the fall, everything, my exit strategy, like I said, when you hot, we sold over 100 million records, but you're not gonna last forever. Somebody else gonna come up. I mean, even then I get into the documentary when Cash Money got hot, and they end up doing more of even what we was doing. And we're not afraid to say that. Like, that's the truth. But like I showed you product, you know, I had tennis shoes back in the days. I had my own shoes. I went to the shoe business. I went to the clothing business because I realized so let me tell you something that I understand too. Every artist you see in the world, how come nobody ever beef with Clyde Davis, Doug Morris? Think about it. Or Jimmy Iovine. Why all these artists had all these multi-million-dollar deals? When they got done, they just left and went back to the hood. Nobody was beefing. No, you never seen nothing on the news. But with our culture and our people, because we attached to these people. Think about the people that Puffy was attached to, Jay-Z was attached to, and even me, even 50 Cent. You can't please everybody. Everybody that they has their own way, and then you're dealing with people from the hood, from the ghetto, from the bottom. When you sit down and have dinner with them, and they are your friends, they're gonna always come up. It's like a girl. So think about this. If you had a girlfriend, what happens when she leaves you or you leave her? Somebody got something bad to say. So you can't just go by the person. There's always two sides to a story. And I just think what's sad about this generation, we kill each other up, we beef with each other, but nobody's never beefed with none of these big white company executives and never was mad when their deals was over. So that's why I got out of the artist business and got into the product business, because product don't talk back. These shoes is not gonna get mad at me and about their publishing and say that I did this to them. And that's what I love about the product business, growing up. Don't be afraid to grow up into a man, because even when you give people opportunities, I gave people opportunities from the ghetto. I created multi-millionaires that never had nothing. Still, you're gonna have ungratefulness. You're gonna have jealousy and envy. So you're gonna get it all in this documentary. And I'm thankful, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be a boss, to be able to handle it the way I handled it. And I'm gonna tell you something. I've never took nothing from no man. I've never not paid a man whatever I owed him, what we made an agreement on. I mean, it's like right now, if you got a job, once you make an agreement, like you guys got the show, whatever you guys agreed upon, that's what it is. When it's over with,
trust me, I know.
Make $100 million. You can't go back and be like, oh, well, y'all made $100 million. Same thing with me. With this deal I did with BET, I could have did it with anybody. This documentary is blowing up everywhere now. Netflix, all the other companies want the documentary, but I made the deal with BET. And whatever our deal is, I can't go back 10 years and be, man, you know, I could have made $100 million with Netflix. The deal is done. And I think that's the way we have to look at, when you're in business, whatever you sign on that dotted line, you got to live with. I mean, when I first got into the music business, you're gonna see in this docuseries, I did a deal with a company called Intermittent Records. I was buying my music from them for my store. So No Limit started out as a retail store. I'm the youngest guy in there with my own business at 19 years old. when I did a distribution deal with them for my music, I never received a check. I never got mad. It let me know I could do it. And I went back and did it on my own. And I think that's what life is. When one door closed, you open a window, and a light clicked off in my head to where I was like, man, I could really do this. I sold a couple of those CDs and cassettes. Now I could do this on my own. So I just think we got to start thinking that way instead of being angry and upset. Because think about it, if you got real money, you're not angry and upset. You're smiling, you're good, you're doing what you need to do. So when somebody unhappy, that means they don't have no real bread. And I've never worried about what somebody else have, because I don't care what Jay-Z have or what Puffy have. I'm happy with what I have. You know what I'm saying?
Pete, I did have a question about, because since you mentioned merch, right? Not merch, but like just having product, because I think these days the hot rappers, they don't have like product. They have like merch that relates to the music. But like, for example, look at Drake. Like we could Jay-Z had Rockaware. We don't really see Drake take advantage of like, his musical relevance and pop culture relevance to sell product. It's more of still within the music. Do you think that's a mistake, or do you just think we're in a different time?
I think they're missing out on a lot of money, because if they get into other brands, and I think Drake have a clothing line, and I think he probably have like a alcohol brand, but I think it's so much product while he's hot that he can get involved in, because when it's over, it's over. Because think about it, when you get to the top, what people they're looking to bring you down. No matter what, they looking to pull you down. So you have to understand that. Once you get to the top, there's nowhere else but down. And that's the way we got to start thinking.
Do we get to see on the doc, do we get to see your transition into the NBA? Do we get to see those preseason games and all of that?
Yeah, you'll get a chance to see that and see how hard it was, how much work I had to put into this. People don't realize basketball is what got me out the ghetto. It saved my life. It changed my life. I put a lot of work into basketball. And you're going to see, I never thought I was going to be a music star. I always thought I was going to the NBA. I was a big-time high school player, college, and then I got hurt. And then I went back. So a lot of those guys that you've seen, from the Gary Payton to the Jason Kidds, I was already playing those guys back in the days, and they knew what type of talent I was. Even you look at when I played for the Charlotte Hornets against B.J. Armstrong and all these players, I tell people the funniest story when I went to the Hornets and the Raptors. Even though I come from the streets of the ghetto, there's a lot of guys in basketball that's from the streets that's playing in the NBA. People don't know. And that's the first time I got tested, was in the NBA. I mean, even on the streets, I ain't because some of these guys are tough. I was playing with Charles Oakley. I was playing with Anthony Mason. All these dudes was tough guys back in the G. And I ain't gonna say what player tested me though, but I had to go back and ask coach. I'm like, Coach, what happened if we get into it? Like, what happened in the gym? Stay in the gym. And, after that, me and that player end up being friends. And it's crazy that, it's a lot of guys in basketball that really come from the streets and really had that mindset. So it was just funny. We end up being friends. And I think that's how I meet a lot of my friends. We end up going at it at first. One of the basketball players, he was a great basketball player too, Tony Harris. And he was in my movement too. I met him in the gym about to fight. We was about to fight each other. We ended up being boys, and the rest was history. So I'm looking at this generation, man, that we could put the guns down. Sometimes I have to take it back to that old school in the backyard, and then we come out as friends. So this documentary is important to me, man. I had to go back and live some moments, when I lost my brother and stuff like that. So those was hard for me, but I think what this documentary is going to bring to C and Mac. C and Mac is my family, but they're two No Limit artists that shouldn't be incarcerated right now. They both is innocent and they didn't commit those crimes, but at the same time, if you look at with this generation, the system is trying to bring you down too. So you got to watch what you do, watch what you say. I think C, his name got him incarcerated because they know that he didn't commit this crime. that's just how the system go. It'll take you down. So we want to shed some light onto that. And I think another thing what I wanted to do, I put this last album out. It's called No Limit Chronicles, The Lost Tapes. So it come out July 29th. You get a chance to hear the music. I did a song for Breonna Taylor to shed some light to Louisville. This was a woman that lost her life too early. And she was an innocent woman. She never had a criminal record. And she was out helping people during COVID-19. So I wanted to make sure we shine some light on her and all the men that we lost, because we've been losing men for so long, but to lose a female and see this, man, I think that really touched my heart. And I got a song on this album called The Stuff You Need to Know. And it's just crazy. Like, I feel like this is me growing and maturing to who I am, and not being afraid to grow up and get older and be yourself, you know, not being afraid to put a suit on and just be you and be that boss that you was born to be. And I mean, I'm gonna get older gracefully and still be able to be relevant in this day and age. 20 years later is nothing but a blessing from the man up above. So I'm blessed to be here, man. I'm excited. I can't wait till people see this, because it's not gonna be what you think. I think one thing people didn't know about me that you'll see in this docuseries, my grandfather, he saved my life and changed my life. He sent me to this little Catholic school right across the street from the project, and I feel like that's where I got my values at, and I got to know who God really is. And but when I put that Catholic school uniform on and got to walk back to the project, I had to fight. You know, it's like they're gonna take your little money, they're gonna take your shoes. People don't realize, like, you know, that's how I really learned how to fight. I'm like, man, I had to stand up for myself. So I don't underestimate nobody. I grew up in the Callio projects in New Orleans. I done seen small men take down big men. So I don't underestimate people. I just come at people with respect and look to get that same respect back from people.
You know, we're really excited to see the docuseries. We all grew up watching you and watching everything that you built. So it's going to be really nice to see behind the scenes all the things that were going on. And we're still pretty early in our career. So to us, it's really inspiring to watch you continue to evolve as an entrepreneur, tell your story, and hopefully we could potentially be as great as you someday. Master P, thank you so much for coming on Everyday Struggle. Guys, make sure you check out No Limit Chronicles. That's airing on BET. That's tomorrow, Wednesday, July 29th at 9 p.m. Thanks again.
Thank you, God. Salute.